Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Diamco, the multidimensional MD. Thanks so much for joining me again for my weekly live stream. And right now, I'm on spring break with the kids. So we're at the beach, but it's actually a really rainy, stormy day, which I don't mind as long as not all the days are like that, because we need both the sunshine and the storms to have a rainbow. So these are the days to be a bit more cozy and yeah, to maybe to go inwards a little bit more and reflect. So as always, my mission is to help bring the intuitive aspects of health back to medicine in practical and tangible ways so that you can access more peace, love, and joy, and deeper healing in your everyday lives. So, in the last week, I've had multiple requests for talking about when you feel stuck, and that can show up in various ways from different kinds of anticipatory anxiety, performance anxiety, competition anxiety, just not feeling good enough, social anxiety, or yeah, just being afraid to mess up about things. And so I'm going to talk about a few tips of what you can do, how to address that stuck state. And then at the end, we're going to go through an EFT tapping sequence that you can do anytime you feel stuck or anytime you are feeling like afraid to mess up, or when you're feeling not good enough, or if you have like a stuck loop going in your head that says, I can't, I can't, I can't. And that is part of the stuck state. And the stuck state is also part of the freeze state. So this is a kind of protection mode when you don't feel safe. And it's not just about physical safety, but includes mental, emotional safety, meaning safe to be you, safe to be yourself, safe to be in any state you're in, safe to feel any emotion, including uncomfortable ones, safe to feel sad, safe to feel angry, not just safe to feel happy and joyful, although it's really important to feel safe to feel joyful as well, because that could be something that you felt like too muchness, growing up. So this can contribute to a stuck or frozen state, or it could be so much pressure, feeling like you have so many responsibilities and are overwhelmed with that, a state of feeling like you're stuck in perfection mode, which is a feeling of like feeling like other people might not like you, or that you're being judged, or that afraid to mess up. So, if the stuck state feels particularly intense, then it could be part of the dark night of the soul. And you can have more than one in a lifetime, which is a part of a spiritual crisis. And if you want to know more about that, then see episode 118, and that's on the dark night of the soul. So, let's go through a few tips here. So, the first one is to acknowledge. Acknowledge how you feel, acknowledge these uncomfortable sides of yourself, because when you feel stuck, you are cocooning up, and so you're wanting to like curl up, and sometimes you don't want to move. Sometimes you feel like screaming. So somehow you need to let the pressure out and that can be just by calling it out, um, giving, like naming how you feel, and that gives that kind of pressure a safe outlet, because anybody just wants to be seen and heard. So acknowledgement is that first step of being seen and heard. So give the pressure a safe outlet by naming it. So, and this is part of learning to be more comfortable with your discomfort, to love yourself through any discomfort, no matter what you feel, because you are allowed to feel anything you feel. Although growing up, you might not have been taught that. It's okay to feel not to. It's okay to feel uncomfortable things. It's okay to feel bored, sad, angry. It's okay to feel happy, joyful, peaceful. So you don't have to like how you feel. It's about loving yourself in any way that you are. So you're going to welcome those shadow parts of yourself back home. And because your shadow parts are really hidden gifts. And I talk about that in more detail in episode 81 about how your shadow sides are hidden gifts. So there will be parts of yourself that at first look like scary monsters, but as you approach them and get to know them, you'll see there are these scared parts of yourself that really just want your attention and your love, and they might look like they're ready to lash out or scratch you or bite you at first, But if you just be really gentle and realize that these are parts of yourself that are just calling out to you for your attention. They've been tucked away and hidden for so long, but they are just asking for you to love those parts of yourself. So you can start this loving dialogue with yourself, a conversation with yourself as you acknowledge these parts of yourself, and start to ask it, gain an understanding with some curiosity of like, hey, how do you feel? Like, where did that come from? And what, how can I help you? And just giving some space to feel, to let that part of you to feel however it feels, to express it in a safe way. And that's part of that reflection and that dialogue. And that's why I love these rainy days where you can step back and reflect and go inwards. We are often so busy that we don't get a chance to do that. So um, when things come crashing down or you're feeling really stuck, it is your life sending you a compass. It's your navigation system kicking in and saying, like, hey, pay attention to me, slow down, look inwards, love me, love all parts of me, because all of me needs you. And that's all of you returning home to you. So not to neglect any of those parts. The second thing is to widen your perspective, and that acknowledgement is part of that widening your perspective. But you can do this in other ways, like you could you just change your perspective. And kids are doing this all the time. They're going upside down and sideways in all different ways. So if you can do that, you could literally change your perspective by going upside down. That's just like the downward dog or the forward bend. It literally shifts your perspective, and that change in perspective can help you move out of a stuck state. Then you can also choose to do things a little bit differently than your routine. So you could use your non-dominant hand. You could brush your teeth with your left hand. That's a common one that they say in like life coaching things, where it's just like, just go a little bit differently to shift your perspective. There's another exercise that I saw on Instagram, and I wish I remembered the name of the person that had said it. But anyway, it is about using drawing as a way to shift your perspective. So when you feel stuck, to take a break, then to draw something. So one exercise is to draw 4 boxes and 4 circles. And then you'll take 5 minutes to draw whatever you want in those boxes and circles. Then you'll take another few minutes and start to look for connections in what you just drew. And then after that, you'll take a 5-minute break to do nothing. You don't have to think about your stuckness. You don't have to problem solve. And then after you've done that, you've had this opportunity to shift your perspective, make different brain connections. There's all kinds of art and creative tools to do this in order to shift your perspective, but that's one easy one. And then see, when you feel stuck, then what? Like, does it feel a little bit different, or is there some wiggle room? So you can use these different tools to get out of your head and get out of your stuckness, and to widen your perspective, get a new perspective, because that's what stuckness is. It's like, it's a tunnel vision of seeing the same thing over and over again. It's a looping thought of thinking the same thing over and over again. I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't. So anything you can do to start to go along a new neural pathway instead of running that same loop of like, I can't, I can't, I can't. It's just running along the same neural pathways. And if you just do something different, you start to use different neural pathways in your brain, literally, and shift your perspective that way. The third thing is to gain momentum with small movements. And so when we are stuck, we are not moving. We are in one place, metaphorically or literally. We might be curled up in a ball. We might be in bed with low energy, not be able to move. Or it might be more of a mindset, like I have to do it this way and I can't do it any other way. That kind of stuckness. So movement is life, and flow is life. So it's about tapping into that movement and flow wherever you can get it. So Dr. Gladys McGarry, who is 103 years old now, she's this amazing physician. She author of Well Lived Life, also one of the co-founders American Holistic Medical Association. She wrote a book, and in that she talks about like to tap into any movement, no matter how small. So sometimes she said, like if you are a mom and you're taking care of all these kids and little kids and you're just exhausted on the couch, it's like, but they're asking you to do things. So as you move around, it's like, can you exaggerate that movement? Can you, even if you just turned the page of the book, could you make it a bigger movement and breathe with it? So those were her neat suggestions of tapping into where that little bit of flow was and then stepping into it. You can also do that with just like these step-by-step small movements. So you could do cross-lateral movements where you just take, you're basically crossing in the midline. So this is a simple cross-lateral movement, these butterfly hugs, and you can tap gently one side at a time, and it sort of cradles yourself that way, and also helps signals cross the brain. So getting out of those stuck mind loops. And then the last thing I was going to go through is an EFT tapping sequence for when you feel stuck. So I don't know if you've watched any of my other videos on EFT tapping. Hold on one second. I'll be right there. Where since it's a rainy day, we are going to the movies, and so I'm in this bedroom and with a closed door, but it doesn't matter if the door is closed because there will be people coming in and out anyway, since we have a house full of kids and everyone. So anyway, I will go through this EFT tapping sequence for when you feel stuck, and it is about tapping on certain meridian points, so these acupressure points, to get them unstuck, because remember, the health is in the flow, and this helps you get your energy flowing. And so we're going to go through certain statements that feel like stuck statements, and then we'll move through it. And as I'm doing this, then think about how it applies to your life. So maybe not all the statements apply to you, but it can give you ideas of like how you might tweak it or change it to suit yourself. So here it is. So the EFT tapping starts with a setup point, which is at this karate chop point. You can go like this or like this, and you can say it with me. I'll say it and then I'll pause a little bit, or you can think it in your head as I say it. Sometimes it's helpful to say it out loud, or if you don't want to do that, then at least thinking it out loud, but any kind of movement you can do. So whether thinking movement or moving movement. So you'll say a setup phrase. Even though I feel stuck, either like this or like this, even though I feel stuck and nervous, I totally love and accept myself. Even though I feel stuck and nervous, I totally love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid of messing up, I totally love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid of messing up, I totally love and accept myself. Even though I keep telling myself I can't do it, I totally love and accept myself. Even though I keep telling myself I can't do it, I totally love and accept myself. So you'll take a couple fingers, you go inside the eyebrows here. I feel nervous. Outside the eyes. I feel stuck. So you can say anything that is looping through your mind to make it unique just for you. And these are just examples. Under the eyes. I feel like I can't do it. Under the nose, everything feels like so much. Under the mouth, it's hard to feel all of these difficult things. Collarbones, at the start of the collarbones, you can do it with it like this or like this. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough. So under the arms, for men, right at the nipple line, for women, right at that bra strap line. And I don't know what to do. Top of the head. There's so much pressure. Inside the eyes, I'm tired. I'm tired of not feeling stuck. I'm tired of not knowing what to do. I'm tired of all this pressure. Outside the eyes, I don't feel like moving. Under the eyes, and I feel like there's so much I have to do. Under the nose, there's so much responsibility. Under the mouth, what if I don't get it right? Collarbones, what if I mess up? Under the arms, what if I'm not good enough? Top of the head, what if people get mad at me or don't like me? Inside the eyes, sometimes I feel like screaming. Outside the eyes, and you're going to imagine yourself screaming. Under the eyes, sometimes I feel like crying. Under the nose, you can imagine yourself crying. Because when you imagine it, it's the same to your brain as if you're doing it. And sometimes all this pressure gets built up. So we just need a safe outlet for these emotions. So just imagine yourself crying and crying. Under the mouth, sometimes I feel like growling. The collarbones, you're going to imagine yourself growling like a tiger. Imagine yourself being a tiger. Under the arm, sometimes I feel like curling up in a ball. Top of the head, so imagine yourself curling up in the ball tightly. Because if you feel like doing that, and you just align your mind and body, so by imagining it and giving yourself a moment to feel that, to express that, then you can get out of that stuck loop that just is needing and wanting to express itself, but safely. Inside the eyes, my mind keeps going and going. Outside the eyes, my brain keeps going and going. Under the eyes, I try to block it out. Under the nose, but maybe I don't have to. Under the mouth, I wonder what it feels like to breathe. Collarbones, I wonder what it feels like to relax my body. Under the arms, is it even a possibility? Top of the head, I wonder what it feels like to let go of all the pressure. Inside the eyes, I wonder what I would tell a little kid or a baby who was upset, not knowing what to do. Outside the eyes, what would I say? Would I tell the little baby or a little kid, you can't do it? You're not good enough? No. Under the eyes, or would I say, you're already wonderful just as you are? Under the nose, you have an amazing life ahead of you. Under the mouth, just keep going. And then the collarbone. Keep taking one step at a time. Under the arms. And then notice as your breath is moving. And keep moving slowly but surely, breath by breath, step by step. Inside the eyes, maybe I can be gentle and use kind words for myself. Outside the eyes, I am a beautiful soul. I know sometimes in the beginning it feels weird or cheesy to say those things, but maybe it feels better than saying you're not good enough, I'm not good enough. I could say I am a beautiful soul under the eyes. I'm a beautiful soul having a human experience. Under the nose. And sometimes feels better than others in this human experience. Under the mouth. But I am loved no matter what. Collarbone. I can love me no matter what. Under the arm. And I can choose to love myself no matter what. Top of the head. Because just like a little kid or a little baby, I'm worthy and deserving of love no matter what. So I can give myself that. Inside the eyes, it might feel hard at first. Outside the eyes, but I'm open to the possibility. under the eyes, of freeing myself under the nose by being kind to myself, under the mouth, just as I would be gentle and loving to a little baby. Collarbone. After all, I am a child of the universe. Under the arm. And even if I mess up, I can get back up again. Top of the head. Growing and learning just as any kid would do. Inside the eyes. It is my nature to learn new things. Outside the eyes, it is my nature to be resilient. Under the eyes, so even if I fall down, I can get back up again. Just like kids do. Under the nose, just like nature does after a storm. And I'm a part of nature. Under the mouth, I am lovable no matter what I am feeling or going through. I am lovable no matter what. Collarbone, I can learn to do hard things. Under the arms, and that can be part of the fun. This process of learning new things, of growing and changing and learning to be me. Top of the head. And anytime I forget, I can remind myself that I am amazing and I love me no matter what. I am amazing. I am amazing and I love me no matter what. And take a nice big breath and then sigh it out. So those were just examples and tips of what you can do when you're feeling stuck. And I hope that has helped you in some way. And it's amazing, in this day, it's like this rainy day that we have. It's feeling stuck inside and having to come up with things to do. And it's, again, going inward and connecting with yourself, or thinking of the family, going inward and connecting with the family without having to rely on external things. And we get to learn and grow through that process. So there's something worthwhile about the challenges. There's something worthwhile about feeling stuck, because it makes us expand to know ourselves more, to know our true selves, to realize that we are these unique emanations of the stillness, and that we are beautiful no matter what. And as we get more and more in tune with that, then it's easy to get back into the flow and out of the stuckness. So if you have any questions on this or any comments, I would love to hear from you. I always love to know where people are, what you're thinking, how these videos have helped you, or maybe if you have questions about it or any other topics that you would like me to go over. And if you'd like to connect with me in other ways, you can on Instagram at All Worlds Health, at Facebook, All Worlds Health and Pediatrics. You can sign up for my e-love letters. I send them out about once a week on Wednesdays. You can do that on my website, allworldshealth.com. So lots of love to all of you. I really appreciate you, and you are amazing and you are beautiful, and I believe in you. So I hope that you feel the same way about you too. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you next Wednesday on another episode of the MultiDimensional MD. Take care. Bye.